Hi everyone, I'm here with your astrology report for the month of April. I'm going to be sharing with you some of the headlines for the month of April. If you want more detailed reports, I do have weekly reports on my Patreon where I talk about all of everything that's going on for the week so you can prepare for your week. But I'm going to share with you the big headlines for the month so you can at least kind of prepare for your month. There's a lot of Aries energy going on this month, that's for sure. Now, last month was a lot of Pisces energy. We still have, Saturn and Jupiter in the sign of Aquarius. Saturn's going to be there all year. Jupiter is going to be there for most of the year with a brief foray into Pisces, May, June, and July. But we have a lot of Aquarius energy still going on, so that is prominent. However, we do have some of the personal planets moving into the sign of Aries. And so there's a lot of fiery energy going on. We're moving away from sort of more watery energy into more fiery energy this month. So the Sun and Venus are already in Aries. And so our focus is very much on the self, on our individuality, on starting things, on newness, which is what Aries is all about. And then we have Venus in that sign as well. And that's not a sign she's like totally comfortable in because it's ruled by Mars. It's not a planet there, a sign she's the most comfortable in. She's a bit cranky in that sign, but she's very assertive. She knows what she wants. She's going to get it. So she's more of like her warrior self than her lover self. And now we have Mercury on Saturday, April 3rd, tomorrow, moving into Aries as well. So we have a lot of Aries energy. We also have Chiron in Aries, and we have the asteroid Ceres. So a lot of fiery energy going on. So Mercury is the planet of communication, and he's been in Pisces for the past 3 weeks. So he's more comfortable when he's in Pisces speaking in, because he's communication in things like poetry, music, dance. Pisces is all about the subconscious. It's about spiritual connection. So it's very good at these kind of spiritual and artistic methods of expressing its emotion, but not always great on clarity, and things can be a little bit muzzled and a little bit fuzzy when Mercury is in Pisces. So the good news is when he moves into Aries, he gets a lot clearer. We understand where people are coming from. However, he can lean more to the aggressive side because Aries is ruled by Mars. And right now, Mars is in Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury. So the two are answering to each other. So Mercury and Mars are answering to each other. So we have the planet of war, aggression, and desire answering to the planet of communication. So what can happen is, if you're not somebody who's naturally assertive, if you're somebody that's quite shy, this can actually be really good energy for you because you're able to say what you want clearer, you're able to have more courage in the way you speak. It's great if you need to like get a point across to people, you're going to get it across. But if you're already kind of naturally like this can make you go a little overboard. It can make you aggressive. It can make you cranky and restless. And so you have to kind of like work with the energy as it suits you. So if you're naturally already a really confident person, make sure that you're not being overly aggressive or pushy with people. And if you're somebody that's shy, you can really use this energy to kind of like stand up for yourself, especially if there's been something you've been putting off saying. But also be aware that there may be more sort of aggressive words around you over the next 3 weeks or so. So if somebody says something is kind of aggressive, ask them if they really meant it that way, because people may not realize how aggressive they're coming across. But if somebody is being, kind of bullying in their words and things, this may be like, okay, I need to set some boundaries with this person. So, just watch for that energy that's going to be going on until, April 19th. So we have that going on. I've got here my Oracle of the Radiant Sun, which I like to use for keywords and things. So Mercury in Aries, it says here restlessness. And I would say that's definitely a keyword. It's very anxious, lots of little trips and things. I know we're not supposed to be traveling or anything, but this might be like little errands and things that are going on over the next 3 weeks. The next headline that we have is on Sunday, April 11th. We have a new moon in the sign of Aries at 22 degrees of Aries. So if you have planets at 22 degrees of the various signs in your chart, it can really, you may feel this more than others. It's a great time to start something, this particular new moon. New moons are always great times to set intentions, but with the sun, Venus, Mercury, and then the new moon in this sign, this is a really great time to start something, especially if you're looking at doing something that goes around for the year, because Aries is the beginning of the astrological year. So you can really use this initiative energy to start a project, to put some energy into it. Now, Aries energy isn't like Taurus energy where it's, slow and for the long term. This is if you need to put some energy quickly into the start of something, and then you can put more energy, slower energy into it in the new moon in Taurus. So this particular new moon is conjunct Mercury. It's sextile with Saturn, so it still has some good organizational energy. And we have Venus squaring Pluto on this day as well. So this is a day where it's good for transforming things, and especially if you've been putting something off that you've been wanting to start, this is day for it. Now, not everybody may be happy about what you're doing, but it's a good day to take the initiative if you want to start something. Wednesday, April 14th, Venus is going to be moving into Taurus, a sign she's much happier in. It is one of the signs that she rules. In Aries, she's a bit cranky, and so she's going to be a lot more happy in earthy Taurus. So Venus in Aries, the key word for that is lust. And then she's going to be moving into Taurus, where the keyword is romance. And I mean, she's the planet of beauty and love and romance, so she's very, very happy there. Taurus is an earthy sign, so she definitely likes to have luxury. She likes to have good food. We want to be wined and dined and treated well and dressed well, and it's very earthy energy. So it's really about enjoying ourselves on the physical level, enjoying our sensuality. So we move away from we're getting out of cranky energy, and we're moving into something that's a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more slow going on April 14th. On Monday, April 19th, both Mercury and the Sun move into Taurus. So we start the month with sort of this very fiery, cranky, sort of aggressive energy. And then mid-month, we move into more Taurus energy, where we really have this slowing down. We have more calmness. We have more steadiness in our lives. We're more focused on things like our values, on the physical world, and we're communicating in a way that's a little bit slower. So things slow down a bit. We might step back and be like, rethink things, because Taurus is asking us, Mercury in Taurus is saying, okay, slow down. You don't need to rush around anymore. Rethink things, and about communicating in people in a less aggressive way. I mean, Taurus is still stubborn. It's ruled by the bull. So we're still saying what we want to say and not backing down, but we're not being aggressive about it. We're just saying, hey, this is my truth and this is the way that it is. Friday, April 20th, we have Mars moving into sign of Cancer. So Mars is in Gemini right now, where, again, Gemini is communication and ideas, and Mars has a lot of energy, so people can be really forceful with their ideas. He's moving into Cancer, which is a sign he's not the happiest in, because Cancer is a water sign. So fire and water, they kind of cancel each other out a little bit. And Cancer is an emotional sign. It's more about intuition. It's about nurturing. And so the aggressiveness may not be overt, but the danger with Mars and Cancer is we can be passive aggressive about things. Think about the mom that guilts you. Cancer is like mom energy, so there may be some of that energy going on, but we're also more driven to do things like nurture ourselves, more driven to be at home. There's sort of this drive to nurture, so we can use that energy in a really positive way over the next 2 months. Monday, April 26th, we have a full moon in the sign of Scorpio at 7 degrees of Scorpio. So if you have 7 degrees, a planet's at 7 degrees in your chart, they may be activated. This full moon, there's some opportunities. It has a nice trine, which is a harmonious aspect with Jupiter and with Mars. So there's opportunities to expand, to take action, to grow this full moon, but it has a square with Pluto. So there is some difficulties in changing and transforming. It's saying in order to grow, in order to move forward, we need to let go of some things, or we may need to accept some harsh things that are in our lives. And full moon in Scorpio is really saying like, hey, it's about balancing the spiritual and the physical world. It's about putting those two things together. It's also about our finances, both the long-term and the short-term finances. How can we make those goals work together? And also, how do we transform on a spiritual level while also honoring the physical level as well? Now, Tuesday, April 27th, we have Pluto going retrograde. Now, when the outer planets like Pluto, Uranus, Neptune go retrograde, we don't often feel them in our personal lives unless they're transitioning on a particular point in our chart. So if you have any planets or any particular points in your chart at about 26 degrees of Capricorn, you may feel this more than others, but we do tend to see this more on a global level. So Pluto's about transformation, he's about slow change, he's about power dynamics, and you may see that some of the power dynamics, especially in governments and banks, which is what Capricorn rules, there may be a sliding back to old ways, there may be regression over the next few months, there may be reviewing of things that happened in the past and saying like, hey, do we really want to continue to do it this way? So there's a sense of re-looking at things from the past and reassessing things over the next 6 months or so, because Pluto spends about half the year in retrograde. It's not something we tend to feel on a personal level, but it is something we tend to see on a more global level. So we start the April with a lot of fiery, Aries, aggressive energy, which can be good for starting things and initiating things, not so good if we're trying to be diplomatic. And then we go into more Taurus, slower energy as the month goes on, things calm down a bit. We have Mars moving into Cancer, which again creates sort of like more of a internal emotional sort of energy as opposed to more aggressive sort of outside energy going on. So that's the main topics for this month. Again, if you're interested, I have free astrology stuff as well. You can follow me on Twitter. I have little daily fun updates. I also have a newsletter I put out twice a month that gives you your full and new moon energies if you're planning to work with those energies. So you can check those things out there. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions or anything. And as always, peace and love and love.